Unlocking the Blueprint to Successful Relationships, a practical guide for men. When it comes to relationships, communication is everything. Yet, it's one of the most misunderstood aspects between men and women. Men and women approach conversations and conflicts from fundamentally different places, logic and emotion often playing the starring roles in how each gender processes situations. Understanding these dynamics is not about conceding power, but about building a bridge toward healthy and effective communication that fosters deeper connections. Understanding the male and female communication styles. Men are generally solution-driven. When faced with a problem, they focus on the quickest and most efficient way to fix it. Women, on the other hand, often want to process their emotions and feel heard before jumping to a solution. Neither approach is inherently better, but the mismatch often leads to frustration and conflict. Imagine a woman coming home after a rough day at work. She vents about her boss, co-workers, and the overwhelming workload. A man's instinct might be to offer a solution, quit the job, or talk to your boss. While logical, these responses can feel dismissive to her. What she truly seeks in that moment is empathy and validation, a simple acknowledgement of her feelings. Once that emotional need is met, she's more open to logical solutions. Why men say facts over feelings, and why it's not enough. There's a common phrase that resonates with many men: facts over feelings. In debates or logical discussions, prioritizing facts is essential. However, relationships aren't debates. They are emotional landscapes that require more nuance. Ignoring or dismissing emotions altogether can create distance and resentment. This doesn't mean men need to abandon logic or pretend to be more emotional than they are. It's about balance, recognizing when emotions need to be addressed and when it's time to shift the conversation toward solutions. Understanding this balance can significantly improve how both parties feel understood and respected. Bridging the gap, practical communication techniques. If you're a man looking to enhance your relationships, here are some actionable strategies to help you navigate conversations more effectively. Listen to understand, not to fix. When someone shares their feelings, resist the urge to immediately offer solutions. Instead, focus on listening. Use phrases like, "I hear you. That sounds really difficult. Tell me more about how that made you feel." These responses show that you're engaged and care about their experience. Once they feel heard, they'll be more receptive to any advice or solutions you offer. Use empathy as a tool. Empathy doesn't mean you have to agree with everything someone feels. It simply means acknowledging their emotions as valid. Example, if your partner says, "I feel overwhelmed," instead of responding with, "It's not that big of a deal," try, "I can see why you'd feel that way. It sounds like a lot to handle." Reframe solutions to align with emotions. You can still offer solutions but frame them in a way that respects the emotional context. Instead of, "Just quit your job," try, "I know this job is causing a lot of stress. What would make things easier for you right now?" Recognize emotional triggers. Certain words or phrases can be triggering in emotional conversations. Phrases like "calm down" or "you're overreacting" often escalate tension. Instead, acknowledge the emotion and redirect, "I can see this is upsetting. Let's take a moment to figure out what's next." The importance of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, EQ, is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage emotions in yourself and others. High EQ is crucial in relationships because it allows you to navigate emotional situations with tact and sensitivity. Here's how you can develop it. Self-awareness. Pay attention to your own emotional responses. Are you quick to dismiss emotions? Do certain topics make you defensive? Understanding your triggers helps you manage them. Regulation. Learn to manage your emotional reactions. If a conversation becomes heated, take a moment to pause and reflect before responding. Social skills. Effective communication involves reading nonverbal cues, such as body language and tone, to gauge how the other person feels. Empathy, practice putting yourself in someone else's shoes. How would you feel if you were in their situation? Creating healthy boundaries in communication. While empathy and emotional intelligence are essential, it's equally important to maintain healthy boundaries. This means knowing when to step back and protect your own emotional well-being. Here are some tips. Set clear limits. If a conversation becomes too overwhelming, it's okay to say, "I need a moment to process this. Can we talk later?" Communicate needs directly. If you feel your needs aren't being met, express them calmly and assertively. Example, "I understand how you feel, but I also need time to think about this." Avoid emotional dumping. Encourage balanced conversations where both parties have space to share their thoughts and feelings. Building long-term emotional connection. Emotional connection is the foundation of any lasting relationship. Here's how you can foster it. Shared experiences. Engage in activities that bring joy and build memories together. Express appreciation. Regularly acknowledge and express gratitude for the things your partner does. Check in regularly. Make it a habit to have open conversations about how each of you feels in the relationship. A balanced approach to communication. Successful relationships thrive on a balance between logic and emotion. By understanding the inherent differences in how men and women communicate, you can foster deeper connections and create a more harmonious dynamic. Remember, it's not about changing who you are, but about learning how to meet your partner halfway. In every interaction, strive for understanding and respect. When both parties feel heard and valued, relationships flourish. Whether you're single, dating, or in a long-term partnership, these strategies will help you navigate the complexities of human connection with grace and empathy.